The physical part of this job isn't that bad, but it's putting up with my lunatic father that might get to you. You guys last a month, I'll double your pay.
Our father is not a lunatic.
What else do you call someone who thinks he's King Arthur?
Brave knight, rein your dragon in or defend yourself.
Oh, get out of my way, you maniac!
Maniac! For that the dragon shall die! Charge!
Good morning, Mr. Croc.
Carl, how long you been in this business?
Since your dad hired me 30 years ago.
You ever seen anything like this Hellstead woman?
Well, me and your dad have seen our share of kooks in our time.
She asked to meet with me this morning. So I'm trying to be nice to her, you know. She tells me she can't leave the land because of her dogs. She's got 200 of them out there. What'll happen to the dogs, she says. I tell her turn them loose. They're carnivores. She expects me to pass on a $20 million project for a bunch of mutts she rescued from the pound?
Well, there's no telling how attached some people get to their animals.
I swear my father's not the only lunatic running around loose these days.
Oh, your sister's waiting for you in the office.
Great. That's all I need. I wish she'd get married already so she'd get off my case. Start worrying about her nails like any normal woman her age. Linda, I don't have a lot of time this morning, so...
What's new about that?
So if it's about why I don't come out and visit Dad, just leave it.
Why don't you come out?
Because it's depressing, that's why. The man used to be a giant. He built a huge company out of nothing. He was a dynamo. Now he doesn't even recognize his own son.
Oh, he recognizes you.
Sure he does. He thinks I'm Sir Lancelot. Our father is on Mars, Linda.
It's not easy taking care of him, keeping that huge house up. I told you yesterday the handyman quit again. That's the third one this month.
This whole thing isn't on your shoulders. You've got a housekeeper.
You know how old Marion is. She can't do that much anymore.
Well, then fire her and get somebody who can.
You can't just throw people away like that.
That's what I'd do if I were you. You gotta start thinking about your life, too. You ought to get rid of the old woman, put Dad in a nice, comfortable home somewhere, and then sell that white elephant of a house. It's an eyesore anyway. That's exactly what I'd do.
I know. But luckily, you take care of Dad's business. I take care of Dad. Now, what about the handyman?
Well, I called the temporary manpower agency. They said they'd
Excuse
send...
me. My name's Jonathan Smith. The manpower agency sent us over.
Speak of the devil?
It's probably not the best choice of words.
Pardon me?
Nothing. This is my partner, Mark Gordon.
Well, Smith, Gordon, look, I don't have a lot of time. My sister Linda here will take you guys over to the house. I think you ought to ride in a car with her so that she can fill you in on a few things before you get up there. Now, the physical part of this job isn't that bad, but it's putting up with my lunatic father that might get to you. You guys last a month, I'll double your pay.
Our father is not a lunatic.
What else do you call someone who thinks he's King Arthur?
Your dad built this place?
My father started from nothing. He and my mother. He was very much in love with her. He said after he made his first million, he'd build her a castle, and they'd live happily ever after.
And did it work out that way?
No. Oh, he built the castle, all right. But then he went right on to make his second million and his third. Construction business is hard. He had to be just as hard to be a success at it. Finally, they ended up almost strangers. I don't think he realized how much he loved her until after she had died.
It's happened to a lot of people.
Then after her death, he sunk into a kind of depression. Just went further and further into himself. My brother ran the business, and my father stayed at home and brooded. One morning, he woke up in the castle he built for his wife, and he didn't know who he was anymore. Well, his name was Arthur, and he lived in a castle, so he figured he must be a king.
King Arthur.
He doesn't hurt anyone. He means no harm. He just thinks he's King Arthur, that's all. I mean, as long as you call him Your Majesty and all, things shouldn't get too hectic. Shall we go in? The house needs a lot of repairs. The fireplace needs brickwork.
That'll be no problem.
And then there's some patchwork painting, some plumbing. It's an old house.
Linda! Who are these people?
Daddy, this is Jonathan Smith and Mark Gordon.
They've been sent to kidnap me, to take me away.
No, they're not. They're going to work here. Take care of the place, take care of the horse. I can't do all that.
They are spies. Merlin warned me there would be spies. Send them away.
Daddy, I need them to help me.
I won't be laughed at in my own home. They'll laugh at me, Linda.
Your Majesty, may I speak?
I suppose so.
Your Majesty, we're just two poor men who've come here to ask you for work, nothing more. We mean you no harm.
Why do you call me Your Majesty?
For the same reason you wear a crown.
Well, that's another story then. I'll accept them as grooms, as squires. Play your cards right, you might even get to be knights. It won't be easy. It's not easy being a knight. Not easy being a king either. Going to find Maid Marian. Have her make me some tea.
Thank you for the way you handled that.
Oh, no reason to thank me. It's his house. He deserves to be treated with respect when he's in it.
Well, most people don't see it that way. Why don't you go to the corral? I've got to call the vet about the horse, and I'll meet you there.
All right.
No guy really thinks he's King Arthur.
Oh, what's so strange about that? You think I'm an angel.
Maid Marian!
Good morning. Morning. What can I do for you? Well, I was wondering if you might tell me where we might find a Dr. Robert Hellstead.
Oh, Bobby. Yes, he's packing up his office inside. My name is Gwen.
Oh, well, I hope your husband isn't too busy to take a look at my horse.
He's my son.
Oh,
And if you have a sick animal, he won't be too busy. And if he says he is, you come and see me.
Thanks. Jonathan, you want to get Galahad out of the trailer and I will go see the doctor.
Sure thing.
I can go right through this way?
Oh, go ahead.
Thanks.
Hey, you want a hand with those buckets?
I can manage these. Oh, there's plenty more if you feel like helping. Takes a lot to feed 200 dogs.
I'll be with you as soon as I unload the horse.
Sure thing.
Dr. Hellstead?
Yeah.
Dr. Stern said you'd be filling in for him while he's gone.
Yeah, that's right.
It's my father's horse.
Be right with you.
Sorry to barge in on you like this. I mean, it looks like you've got your hands full.
Well, that's okay. This is nothing. You have to figure out what to do with these animals. I couldn't interest you in 20 or 30 dogs by any chance, could I?
Maybe a puppy, but that's about my limit. It's hard enough just taking care of my father.
Well, one puppy's a start. That'll only leave us about 199 to go by tomorrow. Let's take a look at that horse of yours. I mean, can you imagine this guy? He gives us 24 hours to move off the place. Well, his name sure suits him. What a crock.
Art Croc?
Yeah, you know him.
He's my brother.
You people sure have your nerve, I'll say that for you. You give us 24 hours to get off our land. You kick a poor old woman off of her property, and then you expect me to treat your horse.
Dr. Hellstead, I didn't know. Look, you can say practically anything about my brother, and I would agree with you. If I'd known, I wouldn't have come. I'm sorry. I'll find another vet. Believe me, I am sorry.
I didn't say I wouldn't treat your horse. I just said you people have a nerve. You don't turn sick animals away on this land. Not for as long as we're on it, at least. I'll take a look at your horse. I wouldn't think a man like your brother would keep a horse this old. You have to love an animal a lot to take care of it this long.
He's my father's horse. But you'd treat him even if you thought it was my brother's, wouldn't you?
It's not a horse's fault he has a jackass for a master.
My father's not like my brother, Dr. Hellstead.
You don't seem like your brother either.
There you go, boy.
Well, I sure appreciate the help there, Jonathan.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. You sure got a lot of dogs here.
I guess we do. And cats and birds and sick coyotes and goats and even a fawn or two. I don't understand people like that Croc fella.
I know what you mean. But, you know, he just runs the company. He doesn't own it.
Of course he owns it. It's Arthur Croc Construction and Development Company.
That's Arthur
He's-
Croc and Son. He's the son part.
How do you know so much about him?
I work for his father. Maybe he's the one you ought to be talking to.
Young man, there's an old saying, fish stinks from the head. If that's the way the son turned out, there's no point talking to the
Oh,
father.
now, come on. How do you know unless you try?
Because he's a big shot businessman, and they all think with their wallets. They're all alike.
Mrs. Hellstead, I can guarantee you that Arthur Croc Sr. isn't like anybody you've ever met.
Maid Marian, there's someone at the door. Maid Marian! That woman needs her hearing aid fixed.
You want me to get it?
No, it's probably knocked herself out again. Poor dear's getting on in years.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were having a costume party. Your handyman, Jonathan, said that it would be
Jonathan
all
said?
right to come.
Jonathan said? He has no right. He's not a knight yet. He has no right. You have no right to invite people to this castle. There might be spies. I will not have people laughing at me. Do you understand?
I'm sorry, Your Highness. It's my fault. Believe me, it's my fault. I should have told you that woman is one of your subjects.
That is no excuse.
One of my subjects?
Yes. I believe she's come with a petition for Your Highness.
She has?
Yes, sire.
This has never happened before. One of my subjects. Are you sure of this?
Yes, I believe she's a lady in distress.
Really?
Yeah, I told her that King Arthur would never turn away a lady in distress, but perhaps I was wrong. I'm sorry.
No, of course not. It's just that there haven't been too many ladies in distress coming up here lately.
You have one now.
Yes. Well, wait a minute. Show her in. Jonathan, do I look all right?
You look like a king.
You told me he was having a costume party. I can't go barging in there with all
Gwen,
this.
there isn't any costume party now. I told you that Arthur Croc wasn't like anyone you've ever met before.
Oh, yes, but...
All right, don't worry about it. Just come on in. I'll be right beside you.
You may approach us, dear lady. Now, we will hear your petition.
My petition?
She hasn't curtsied. Why isn't she curtsying?
Curtsy? Look, Mr. Croc.
Croc. Why does she call me Croc?
Oh, my lord, the man's a fruitcake.
What did she say?
She said her name was Gwen. That's short for Guinevere.
Guinevere. You are Guinevere.
Well, I haven't been called that in years, but that's my name.
Oh, my lady. Can you ever forgive me? For so long, I have been lost. For so long, lost in fear. Fear of not being Arthur. For if I am not King Arthur, then I am worse than lost. I am mad. But I must be king, for my lady Guinevere has come back to me.
I'm not who you think I am. I'm just a woman whose name is Guinevere.
Well, then, dear lady, I beg you, let me be just a man who is named Arthur.
Well, how'd it go?
Well, I know you meant well, Jonathan, but there's just nothing he can do.
He's just a poor, lonely man. Locked himself inside a kingdom he's made up for himself. He almost makes you believe he is a king of a fairy tale world. But the bulldozers that are going to level my land tomorrow are very real.
Don't give up hope.
I already have. Thanks anyway, Jonathan.
You must do battle tomorrow, Arthur.
I can't.
You must.
I'm afraid to go out, Jonathan. Afraid they'll take away my dream of being king.
If you don't go, Arthur, you are no king. You know I speak the truth.
Grant me courage to go out into the world and never let the jeers of those who will laugh at me drown out the voice of truth you plant in all men. Give me courage to dream dreams and strength to make them real. And if this be madness, let it only serve your purpose. And I'll envy no man the world calls sane. Knight, rein your dragon in or defend yourself.
Oh, get out of my way, you maniac!
Maniac! For that the dragon shall die! I'm all right.
Arthur?
You know me? Have we met before?
Arthur, you gave me my start 30 years ago. We were best friends.
You speak like a friend. But if you take this lady's lands, then you serve a wicked master.
You want us to leave, Arthur?
You ask me that when we do battle?
I have no battles with you, Arthur.
What a noble heart you have. Then in the name of justice, and for the sake of our friendship, go and let us fight no more.
You've got it. All right, pack up and let's get out of here. We'll come back later for the dozer.
What are you talking about? We got a court order.
It's his company. If he wants us to leave, we leave.
Oh, come on, Carl. The guy's crazy. Why listen to him?
Because I worked for him, and so do you. Because he's my friend. Let's go.
I want to talk to you, Smith.
Yes, sir?
Exactly what is it supposed to be?
Well, it appears to be a newspaper.
I know it appears to be a newspaper. I'm talking about what is inside the newspaper. Little human interest story on the inside section titled King Arthur Rides Again. It's attributed to a handyman named Jonathan Smith.
Yeah, well, this fella just started asking me questions, and I haven't had much experience with reporters.
Don't play dumb with me, Smith. I'm seriously considering suing you for libel.
Well, I don't think you'll find anything in that article that I said that isn't true.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to have that old man declared legally incompetent. I'm going to take over his affairs. I'm going to sell this white elephant once and for all. So enjoy your job while you still have a place to work.
You take your own father to court.
I've said all I'm going to say.
Oh, come on. He's your father. You know, he's got a picture of you beside his bed.
That's not a picture of me. It's a picture of Sir Lancelot. What is that your business anyway? What are you, a reporter? sent you here?
You did.
You're a spy. Somebody sent you here.
You know, Mr. Croc, that's exactly what your father told me the first time I met him. And you call him crazy. Come on, man, he's your father. Why don't you go inside and talk to him?
I said I'm through with talking. Louise, send a car up to my father's house. Just send the car.
Lancelot, my boy, you've come to see me.
I am your son.
Yes. Yes, you have been like a son to me. It pleases me to hear you say that. I feel like a father to you.
Oh, you do you?
Why are you angry?
Because you've never been like a father to me. You paid for my schools, but did you ever once show up like any normal father, did you? You're always too busy building an empire.
But I love you. You are the...
Don't say that. I don't want it. I don't want it from a man who had to go crazy in order to tell me that. But you know something? You were right. You taught me what was really important.
What was that?
The bottom line. That's what. Not the words, but how those numbers add up on the very bottom line.
I taught you that.
Oh, I learned from the master. I wanted a father. All I got was the promise of an empire that would one day be mine. Well, that one day is right now, and I'm taking it. And nobody's gonna stand in my way.
Lancelot, my son! My son! My son.
It's getting cold, sire.
Oh.
But you might need that.
Thank you.
If you'd like to be alone, I'll leave.
No. No, stay with me a while. Jonathan. All right. A man, any man, let's say, not necessarily a king. A man sets out to build an empire. Why?
Ambition, I'd say.
Is it a wicked thing?
Oh, no, I don't think so. God gives each one of us certain talents. I don't think it's wicked if we want to use those talents.
Yes. Yes, that's right. I swear to you, Jonathan, it did not start out to be a wicked thing, Camelot. It was meant to be a special place, full of joy, not hatred, not sorrow.
I know that, sire.
Then how did it happen? How did it happen?
I think there needs to be a balance. Ambition isn't the only gift we're given. We're given strength and courage, many things. But when any one of those things outweighs all the other, we're out of balance. Like a man trying to carry a yoke with only one pail of water.
Father? Can I speak to you alone, please?
Not alone. I want him near me.
All right. Daddy, this is a summons for you to appear in court. Now, I want you to try and understand what I'm saying. This is very important.
I'm listening.
Daddy Art, the one you call Lancelot.
My son.
Yes. He's going to have you declared incompetent. That means
I know what incompetent means.
he has a very good lawyer. We have to try and find someone to defend you. Do you understand? Someone has to defend you.
A king's knights defend him.
Oh, Daddy, please, please, please understand this.
Don't concern yourself, my dear. I understand many things. Maybe more than I ever have. Jonathan will defend me.
Daddy, it's bad enough that you think you're King Arthur, but if you go in there with a handyman for a lawyer, they'll never believe you. You don't know what the issue is here.
Oh, but I do. There was a young boy who wanted a father. He was promised an empire instead. If he can't have the father's love, he means to have the empire.
All rise. This court now in session. The Honorable Grace DeWitt presiding. Be seated.
Are the attorneys for both parties present and ready to proceed in this matter? Plaintiff?
We are, Your Honor.
And the attorney for Mr. Arthur Crox, Sr.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I must protest. It has come to my attention that this man is not an attorney, but Mr. Crock's handyman. Since the question before us is Mr. Crock's competence, I move...
Your Honor, I believe you will find documents in front of you that will show that I'm quite capable of appearing in behalf of my employer.
I see no such documents.
I believe you'll find them under your folder, the yellow folder.
Oh, this wasn't here a second ago. But it appears to be in order.
Thank you.
Opening statements, Mr. Hacker.
Your Honor, we will show that Mr. Arthur Crock Sr. is not competent to handle either his personal or business affairs, and we will seek to have his son, Mr. Arthur Crock Jr., named as sole custodian of both his personal and business matters and well-being. And I would ask that Mr. Crock's costume be noted for the record.
Noted. Mr. Smith.
Yes, Your Honor. The issue not only before this court, but between these two men is not one of competency. It's one of love.
That's all you have to say, Mr. Smith?
I think it says it all. Except that you look very, very nice in your robe.
How I look in my robe is certainly not the issue before this court. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, very much. Nor would the look of my client in a robe have anything to do with the issue in this court.
Objection.
Sustained. Call your first witness, Mr. Hacker.
You are Mrs. Charles Buttram?
I am.
And you are employed as housekeeper to Mr. Arthur Crock Sr.?
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Buttram, does your employer walk about the house dressed as King Arthur?
Yes, sir.
Does he respond to the name King Arthur?
Yes, sir.
What does he call you?
Maid Marian.
No further questions. Your witness, Mr. Smith.
Mrs. Buttram, have you ever worked for anyone else aside from your present employer?
Oh, years and years ago. I worked for Mr. Justice Hemdale and his wife. He passed on.
Yes, I know. He was a justice on the state Supreme Court, was he not? And if my memory serves me correctly, Judge DeWitt was his clerk after she finished law school. What did he wear around the house?
I thought you looked familiar. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, what did he wear around the house?
Yes.
Well, if there was nobody there but him and the missus, he didn't wear anything but a towel.
Why was that?
Because that's what he wanted to wear. He said it was nobody's business what a man does at home. A man's home is his castle.
You said your employer called you Maid Marian. What's your first name, Mrs. Buttram?
Marian.
And what's your job?
I'm the maid.
No further question.
And then Mr. Crock Sr. appeared on private property on a white horse in full armor and drove you and your men off, preventing you from carrying out your assigned task. Is that not true?
That's true, sir.
Your witness.
Carl, who owned the property in question?
Why, Kroc and Son Development Company.
And who owns Kroc and Son?
Mr. Kroc, Sr.
Who's your employer?
Kroc and Son Development.
So your employer ordered you and your man off his own piece of property. You find anything crazy about that?
Well, it's his land. He can do anything he wants to with it.
Thank you, Carl. No more questions.
Mr. Kroc, it is my understanding that the land in question is worth close to $20 million if all the luxury condos you intend to build are sold. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
And does your father agree with your plan to develop this land and go ahead with the condo project?
No, he wants to let Mrs. Hellstead have it rent-free for the next 5 years for her bunch of mutts.
No further questions.
Mr. Kroc, do all real estate deals make money?
Not all of them, no.
And is there any guarantee that all these condos will be sold?
No, but this real estate deal looks as good as anyone can.
Yeah, but there is a risk.
There's always a risk.
Yeah, on the other hand, if the property remained undeveloped, it would continue to appreciate, wouldn't it, over the years? Isn't that true?
Yes, it's true. But to hand it over to a bunch of mutts is just plain crazy. Nobody but a maniac would let a dog interfere with business.
Oh, Fritzy, you naughty boy. You know you're supposed to stay in Mommy's office. You naughty, naughty boy.
Court will recess for 5 minutes while I take Fritzy back and make sure he's okay.
Yeah, Your Honor, before we recess, could you just have the court reporter read back Mr. Kroc Jr.'s last statement? I didn't hear it.
The reporter will repeat the last answer.
Nobody but a maniac would let a dog interfere with business.
I repeat, court is recessed. Unless you wish to call my competency into doubt as well.
You may call your first witness, Mr. Smith.
I call the defendant, who is known to those who love him by many names, one of which is King Arthur.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth in the matter now pending before this court, the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I so do swear.
Kings are supposed to be blessed with wisdom. Is that not true?
The crown doesn't make you smart. If you're a good king, it makes you think about other people's problems, not just your own.
Well, let me pose you a question that probably could only be answered by a good king. If you were this Arthur Kroc Sr., what would you do with the land now occupied by the woman known as Guinevere?
I will let her keep the land for 5 years to take care of the helpless creatures who know the tenderness of her heart.
And then?
And in that time, I would court her and try to persuade her to make my home her home. And a home for the animals as well.
And what about the company? The empire?
A man may build what he builds in the beginning for all the right reasons. And then maybe he gets caught up in it all. Out of balance. Then he loses something more precious than even gold if he's not careful.
And what is that?
Loses the one he loves.
And what would you do?
I would give him that which was built for him in the first place, the empire. And I would give him something that not even an emperor can buy.
Would you tell the court where that is?
I would give him a father's love.
What is your name, sir?
I am... I am a lucky man who has all the love of a daughter who accepts me no matter what I choose to call myself. The love of friends, old and new, who defend me and don't want to hurt me, Jonathan.
You haven't answered my question. Who are you?
I am that young man's father. And I need no armor, neither real nor of the mind, nor any protection, nor any crown, to stand before you and say, I love you, son. I love you. I love you, my boy.
I object, Your Honor. The witness has not answered the question. He has not said who he is.
Yes, he has, Hacker. Yes, he has.
Case dismissed.
We know what to do with it. Sure.
Jonathan, you're not leaving.
I'm afraid we have to. We've got another job waiting for us.
We'll double your pay and make this one permanent.
I'm sorry, it's a prior commitment.
Just tell me who the employer is, and I'll take care of it.
I can't do that. Your father made me promise to serve no earthly kings.
I understand. May the road rise up to greet you. May the wind be always at your backs. May the sun shine warm upon your face, the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
Goodbye, my friend.